Hey there, YouTube family. Say hi in the comment section and hit that like for me. Today, we're going to be talking about our favorite cryptos, so let's get into it. Okay, let's be real. We are in the dog days of the crypto winter, and all of the crypto degens are hovered around the dumpster fire of their favorite crypto projects trying to stay warm. Everything is nearly 90% down from its tops, and Bitcoin and Ethereum are 72% down from their tops. So the question is there light at the end of the tunnel? I'm going to share some projects with you guys that I think are worth looking at right now. Okay, I want to make a point to you guys about what's going on in the crypto winter and what to expect. I just want you guys to realize that no matter what happens with your favorite coin, no matter what news story comes out, no matter what accomplishment occurs, during the crypto winter, cryptos are largely going to move sideways with a very little price range action. This is actually great news because it's a range in which we can afford to accumulate. All of our favorite crypto projects are 90% down from their very tops, and they're on sale. They're cheap. But it's often when people have lost or didn't get out in time that they're down 70, 80, 90% in their portfolio. It's bummed them out, it's scared them, and they begin to walk away thinking crypto is dead. But anybody who's participated from one winter back to a bull cycle knows that this is the time where you want to pay the most attention and get the most involved. So what should we be paying attention to? Well, I'm going to share three very interesting news stories, ultimately going to build the momentum in the next bull cycle. The first one is by BlackRock. You guys know that they have trillions of dollars under management. They are the largest asset manager in the world, and they launched a spot Bitcoin private trust to give their customers exposure to the current price of Bitcoin, allowing their very wealthy clients to accumulate right now. BlackRock has since said that they are seeing substantial interest in crypto from its institutional clients, which in a nutshell simply means that when they made this available to their clients have been actively buying. So what is the smart money doing? What are the large investors doing? They're buying Bitcoin and Ethereum and crypto right now while it's in accumulation phase. Another big news event was that Google announced it's going to start accepting crypto as payment for its cloud services. You guys know how I feel about Google. You know how I feel about their cloud services. And what's happening? We're seeing an alignment with people being able to pay for their cloud service using crypto, allowing Google to grow, and also confirming and validating crypto overall. This has moved Coinbase and their entire audience away from having previously worked with Amazon and moving them towards Google, which again is a massive win for Google. That shows that the largest companies in the world are setting up to be aligned with crypto, with the exchanges, with Bitcoin. I'm telling you, they're not going to do that if they think that the best days of Bitcoin and crypto are behind them. They're doing that because they believe that the very best days for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and crypto are ahead of them. So that's an extremely big news story. If that news story had come out during the last bull run, it would have pushed everything up another 10, 12, 15%. None of that's going to get priced in right now because we're in the winter, but we need to take note of it and realize that it validates every single time we go to put $1 into Bitcoin, Ethereum, or crypto. It validates that investment because these large companies are moving forward to those alliances. All right, the third great news story that I want to cover with you guys was that the Bank of New York Mellon, a 239-year-old bank, so you got to imagine, as it's hard to teach old dogs new tricks, but these guys have launched their own Bitcoin and Ethereum custody service. The bank will hold clients' private keys and provide accounting for crypto portfolios. And so here's what that means. It means that all the old money, the wealthy people, they don't want the responsibility of holding onto their keys or losing their money, but they do want to partake in crypto. Bank of New York Mellon is saying, don't worry, you give us your money and we'll give you a piece of the crypto pie. Massive news story, as well as the fact that this very old financial institution has become the custodian for the cash reserves that back the USDC stablecoin. They did that this last March. Again, showing that alliance between banking and crypto is getting stronger. All right, I get asked a lot by Mara as well as Coinbase stock. Is it a good time to buy? Now, these are stocks of interest because in the past they had really run up. I traded Mara when it was $2.50. I had thousands of shares of it, and I was amazed at the miraculous run-up. I did not participate in that massive run up all the way past $60. And I have to admit to you guys that when Mara comes down to a price that I believe is the bottom, you have to believe that if I get a second chance at participating at a massive run up in Mara, I'm going to take it. I also did not buy Coinbase when it IPO'd because the price was insane high, and all it has done is drop since then. But I do think that Coinbase is a solid exchange. You guys know I've said for a very long time that these guys are doing a great job being a publicly traded company, getting themselves positioned for the next bull run, cutting costs like they're supposed to. But I'm going to tell you guys right now that despite whatever small jump ups in the price of coin or the price of Mara, I believe it's too early. I don't believe that we're far enough through the crypto winter for the momentum to come back to those stocks. They've not bottomed out yet. They're still in decline. So I'm just going to say, hold off on them. If you are interested in trading Mara and coin, I think you're going to be able to get them at a better price, accumulate some cash, get yourself positioned. I'm going to guess that it's between 4 to 6 months from now, and then put all that cash in. Of course, be diversified. Okay, let's talk some specific cryptos. Let's look at Ethereum. It's 72% down from its high of 4,878. And Ethereum is 21% down from the successful merge. We talked about the fact that even though they were going to knock it out of the park, which they did, there really have been no major problems on that merge, but the price has suffered, coming 21% down to their support of 1280 and bouncing. You guys know that I took a big position at 1280, and then it's been hovering in a very tight range of compression, not really moving. And I want to remind you guys what compression is in stocks and cryptos. It's when a price stays in a very tight price range for a long period of time. You can imagine it like a spring coil getting slowly pushed back. The longer it stays in that price compression range, then one day the farther and the harder it's going to spring. So I do believe that we're looking at a potential big move in Ethereum and a lot of cryptos that have been showing that price compression over the last couple weeks. So it means a big move is coming, and that could be to the upside or the downside. We need to be mindful of that. That's why I've got a stop loss at 1275. I want to remind you guys that my target for this swing trade of Ethereum is $1,600. I believe that's where we're going to see some resistance. If we get another move up in these markets, it could easily sweep Ethereum up to $1,600. That's the basic trade there. All right, let's look at another project. The project is Polkadot. That chart is also in a very tight compression, and it really looks like it's in the stage of accumulation. I want to just talk to you about the price range of DOT. It used to trade, it went as high as $60, and it's currently sitting at $6. Worst case scenario, let's say that DOT fell back to $3 and you could lose 50%. But best case scenario, DOT goes back and hits all-time highs and you 10x it. Let's just talk about who owns DOT. I've mentioned this to you guys before. DOT is one of the crypto projects that are held by more investment firms universally than any other coin. So they've done reports, they've looked at wallets that are held by the large investment firms, and they found that the number one coin that was common amongst all of them was Polkadot. DOT right now is sitting at that $6 in a very tight range. You know that I think that's accumulation, and a lot of people believe that even though it hit $60 in this last bull run, that so much of DOT was under development in this last bull run that they've really yet to get recognized and to go parabolic the way that they would. There are some people that believe that DOT could hit $120 in the next bull run, which would actually be a 20x from here it is. So I want to identify DOT. If you don't own any DOT, it might be time for you to consider doing some due diligence on DOT and ask yourself why it is in so many crypto portfolios. All right, I want to touch on a video that Uncle Larry, Stock Up with Larry Jones, did on SHIB recently. And he drew out the fact that there's been so much dialogue about SHIB, God, and prophecy. I'm not going to dive into that today, but I am going to sign off on Larry's video. I completely agree with everything he said. Him and I did have a conversation about the technicals before he did that video, and we both agreed that there is an ideal entry and an ideal exit for SHIB. Here's the question that I want you guys who own SHIB to ask yourself. What is your goal? Some of you guys might have the goal to simply be recovering some losses because you bought SHIB too high. But if you take a step back and you put that on the shelf for a minute, You can also ask yourself, is SHIB bottomed out? Is the price stabilized? And if I bought it here, where would I consider selling it for a profit? So I agree with the entry that Larry gave. There is a strong trend line of support that is underneath SHIB now. The 5 zeros 9 and the 5 zeros 10. So beneath that looks like an ideal place of entry, and there's a strong area of resistance ahead at the 5 zeros 17. If you time that right and you accumulated under that 10, you could easily realize 100% return on your SHIB during this crypto winter. All right, let me take a station break and mention that this video has been brought to you guys by MooMoo. Their offer is that if you open and fund an account, you will get 15 stocks valued up to $30,000. If you put in just $100, you're going to get 6 chances of stock valued at $2,000 each. And today is Webull Wednesday. What I like about Webull is they have the set it and forget it stock buying. You can buy fractional shares, so you can buy some of your bigger tech companies like Apple or Google or Microsoft or Amazon. You don't have to buy a full share. You can just buy a portion of a share, whatever it is you could afford, out of your paycheck once a week. So you can find both of those in the link in the description of this video. Okay, we're going to talk about some Crow, some Crypto.com, CRO. I like Crow here. I remember when Crow was being so hyped up. People were asking me to talk about it all the time. I never liked it there, okay? When it hit $70, I made a phone call to Larry and some other guys in my trade group, and I said, that's it. It's not going to $1. That's as large of a market share that these guys can get right now. But it's come all the way down to 10 cents. It's consolidated. It's in a very tight range. And I just have to say, I see on both Crow, on Ethereum, as well as I see on DOT, all of these have something in common today, and they've got bullish divergence on their RSI. So even though the price has come down and is flat, the amount of sellers has decreased exponentially. And so I'm telling you that there are people who are accumulating these while the rest of those are selling them out of the fear and the FUD of the CPI and the Fed. Right now, Crow is a potential buy at 10 cents. This is the question that I want you guys to ask yourselves each and every time you look at one of these cryptos right now. Will Crow one day hit 20 cents? Well, if you knew that you could buy something that had a potential of 100% return, it's a little bit of a no-brainer to me to buy it. But as always, you guys do your own due diligence. I've never promoted Crow on this page, but at 10 cents, it's time for me to buy. All right, in conclusion, I see some bullish divergence on some of these cryptos that I've shared with you guys today, and I believe that the markets are also looking at a potential relief rally. I want to remind everybody, let's take a step back and look at the global markets right now. We just came off of a 20% strong drop day after day after day on the S&P 500 as measured by the SPX. We came all the way from those highs down 20%. And I want to point out that we could easily back test that big move before going down by going up 10%. We've had 3 strong days. Today was a little bit of a day of indecision. Not everything went up. I want to remind everybody that relief rallies move fast. I gave you guys a target in some past videos that I did see this market eventually going back to back test the 3,800 to 3,900 range, and conveniently, that's the 10% move that I think we might get. As far as crypto goes, I want to remind everybody that crypto bear markets are for accumulation. They're not for getting rich. This isn't the time where if you think, if I buy it today, that a couple weeks from now, it's going to pop. What you're going to see is that if you buy it today, a couple weeks from now, it could pop, and then a couple weeks after that, it could come right back to this accumulation price. It's time to set it and forget it. It's time to accumulate coins that you guys believe in. And in the future, that could translate into life-changing money. And so, family, we are accumulating crypto while adoption is quietly occurring in the background. That's the main point of today. You guys join the conversation on this page by hitting the subscribe as well as the notification bell. As always, peace and blessings, my friends. Take care.